It's a United States love affair with Formula One at the moment, so what a thrill for everyone today to see our drivers lapping COTA at full hot lap speed. It's the Circuit of the Americas, and it's qualifying.
Hello everybody, it's Joe here and welcome back to my F1 24 career mode. This time we're at Austin for the US Grand Prix, the Circuit of the Americas, the second of 3 visits to the States, the third being Las Vegas in a few races time. But if you haven't seen the last instalment from Singapore, do be sure to check that one out before you see this one. So we had another points finish in Singapore. It could have been a podium finish, but mistakes were made. We move on to the next race, and we're here at the Circuit of the Americas in Texas, ready to see if we can have another competitive weekend. Trying to get that second podium. Our first trip in Baku was sweet, so the second must be sweeter. We get through Q1 quite nicely, or should I say SQ1. It is a sprint race weekend. And we get through the first part of sprint qualifying nicely. We're now in SQ2, and I'm hoping the car in front doesn't hold me up. I'm hoping Hulkenberg gets nicely out of the way. Unfortunately, he does not do that. He is in our way a little bit. But we might get a tiny bit of a tow down the little straight we had to the finish line. But we still get through quite nicely into SQ3, and we were within the top 10 quite nicely in both sessions, so I'm thinking the pace round here is going to be somewhat decent, so we should be able to get some good points here as we now complete our SQ3 lap. The sun beginning to set, and that glare just a little bit off-putting, but it's so realistic. They've done this so well, honestly. Out of the last corner, what's it going to be? Where are we going to be for the sprint? The answer is P8. So we are going to be P8 on the grid for the sprint race here at the Circuit of the Americas. Sprint pole, however, that I believe went to Verstappen, although don't quote me on that. Let's have a look. Yes, it is Verstappen with Alonso alongside, with Leclerc and Norris taking the second row.
So it's all about speed in today's sprint. Not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Fernando Alonso alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Norris, Sainz, Oscar Piastri, Perez, Sunshine, Russell, Hamilton, Albon, Stroll, Gasly, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Bottas, and Logan Sargent. And joining me in the commentary box once again, Naomi Schiff.
We have 10 laps of this sprint race, so let's see what we can do from P8 on the grid. The lights are on, and we are underway here in Austin. We've got away quite nicely. Leclerc's got away pretty well in front of us. Perez goes to cut across, but we're going to dive down the inside. There's a little bit of contact with Leclerc as we go down the inside, but we've gone from 8 to 4 with Sainz fighting us on our right here. I'm going to hold the inside line, and I nearly lose it there, but we hold on to P4 there. And Sainz dropping to P5. It's a great start by us. I think Sainz might have flipped us though, and may have taken a little damage. And in fact, Norris is now going down the inside of Carlos Sainz. They're fighting each other now for P4, which is allowing me to get just a little bit of a gap on the pair of them. And as we come round now, it is Verstappen in the lead. It's Leclerc in second, Alonso in third. We're in P4, and in P5 it's Lando Norris and Sainz definitely clipped us and took a bit of damage then. I'm not sure whose fault that is. I think that might just be one of those lap 1 incidents. But anyway, end of the first lap. It's Max Verstappen in the lead, Charles Leclerc in second, Alonso third, I'm in fourth, Norris in fifth and Sainz in sixth, but I fear may drop down. And in fact, Piastri has got past him, and we've now got Lando Norris all over the back of us here. And there's a big gap where Sainz, who has damage, well, people have struggled to get past him, and he's holding the pack back. But we've now got Lando Norris using DRS on the straight. We're using overtake to try and defend. Norris down the inside, sends the McLaren in. We're going to try and hold out around the outside. No, we've got off the circuit. And Lando Norris, he just says, thank you very much. I will just take P4 and I'll be on my way. But we're staying with him at the end of the 5th lap because I'm hoping we can use a bit of DRS to our advantage, but also use his DRS to keep Piastri behind too. But Piastri's having a look into one. Piastri sending it down the inside. We're going to try and fight him off in this sweeping right-left sector of turn 1. These fast corners just not suitable for going wheel-to-wheel in. Piastri does get ahead, but he has a little bit of a wobble, and I'm trying to find a way to have a look, but there is just no way of doing that. Oscar Piastri up into 5th place. We are having to settle for 6th for now, and we've got Sergio Perez catching at a vast rate of knots here. But what can Perez do? Is he going to be able to catch us before the race finishes? We might have another shot at getting back past Piastri here, because we've stayed pretty close to him. He's not got DRS from Lando, but we've got DRS on him. We're going to go around the outside and try and retake P5 from the McLaren driver. We go around the outside and we have managed to retake that, but Piastri fighting round the outside there. Oscar's got some fight in him here. He's going to try and send it down the inside, and we're still side by side, but Piastri holding the position there. That is some great racing by the McLaren driver. He's now 8 tenths ahead as we go into the DRS zone again, but that might not be enough to keep us from having a go. Look how close we get towards the end of the straight. I'm sending it down the inside, but I'm not going to get that stop. As Oscar Piastri retakes 5th in the McLaren, we are now down to 6th, and as a result of how hard we've been fighting Piastri, Sergio Perez has really caught up, and he's having a go into turn 1. He's going to go around the outside. We're trying to hold it on the inside, but Perez doing very well to keep that much momentum around the outside. He now has the advantage here, but now I have the advantage in the left. Perez will have it in the right. Can we go around the outside and just keep the position? Yes, we can. That was hard racing, but that was also fair racing. But we are losing position after position here, and I don't think it'll be long before Perez has a go and is able to take us. In fact, I think we might end up being a bit of a sitting duck down this straight. I'm trying to take a bit of a wider line and get a better exit. That just hasn't happened though, and Perez staying right within my slipstream. I'm draining the battery to see if that'll keep him behind. That is not going to do so. Perez having a look to the inside. We're going to try once again to hold it on the outside. We have held it on the outside this time, and we've now got the inside line for the right-hander. We're allowing Perez space still, but Perez not able to hold on to the position, and we've retaken P6, but Perez not giving up as we head towards the end of lap 9. We've got a yellow flag in front of us, so I'm not sure who's blown up. I think it's Fernando Alonso with an Aston Martin issue, and Perez diving down the inside and catching me napping there and taking P5. Perez just caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting him to just send that, but he did. And Sergio moving his Red Bull up into the top 5, and now I'm fighting Perez once again to try and stay within that DRS zone and have one last go on this final lap to try and take Sergio Perez. We're going to go down the inside. Perez not really offering much resistance here, Perez turning into us there as we had the inside line. He's now got the inside of the right-hander. I'm trying to keep as much speed as I can down the outside. That we have done. And I'm going to have a look down the inside of the double left. Is that going to work? No, we didn't have enough speed, and Perez just simply outdrives us on the exit and takes P5, sorry. So Perez getting into the top 5. It's another sprint win for Max Verstappen. Charles Leclerc, I assume, would have been second. Lando Norris keeping it in the top 3, but for us, it's P6. It's 2 places up from where we started, and a couple more points
and
for us.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
So that wraps up the sprint race, but there's still more.
So there's
action yet to
confirmation
come
of
this
how they
weekend.
finished in
We've
the
got
sprint race.
qualifying and,
Max
of course,
Verstappen is your
Grand
winner,
Prix.
Charles Leclerc second, Lando Norris third, Oscar Piastri fourth, fifth is Sergio Perez, we're sixth, George Russell seventh, and Lance Stroll completing your top 8 and taking the final point of this sprint race. But now we move on to the main event, the US Grand Prix, but first we will have to qualify.
It's a United States love affair with Formula One at the moment, so what a thrill for everyone today to see our drivers lapping COTA at full hot lap speed. It's the Circuit of the Americas, and it's qualifying.
Here we go again then, but this time qualifying for the main event, the US Grand Prix, and we've set a purple middle sector. I have had to try and dig deep and find a little bit more pace from somewhere, and it looks like we're just digging deep and trying to find it. The sprint race, while the pace was sort of encouraging, it did fall off to the end, so we need to try and find a way to hold on to that pace. Right now though, it's looking good for this particular qualifying lap in Q1 as we absolutely smash that final apex over the line, where P3 moving down to P4 to get through Q1. Ocon, Sargent, Magnussen, Tsunoda and Ricciardo not so lucky on this one. Right, into Q2. And how are we doing here? So far so good. Didn't set a purple middle sector this time though, but still the lap is looking relatively decent. And this corner in particular, I always find tricky to keep a good momentum through, because I'm not, as much as I got racing line on, I'm never entirely sure of what the best line to take is, so I'm always finding new ways to try and find time round that corner. But anyway, out of the final corner, onto the straight. What is the time? It's a 1:32.7, and we actually top Q2. So we've actually got a chance to be in the running for the top position here. And now we're in Q3, and I'm just going absolutely ham here. I'm just going all out to try and get a decent grid position here, because the top 3 could potentially be on, and that would be a nice way to start the race. Here we go then, round the long right-hander. One of my favourite corners on the game. It's like a backwards turn 8 from Turkey if you think about it. Into the first left, bang! Now we're going to try and clip the second and final corner. The sun goes down on this Saturday afternoon. Where have we put it? Is it going to be a decent qualifying position? It is P2! So we start on the front row alongside Max Verstappen. And with Alonso and Norris close behind, this could be a thrilling race.
Well, you don't need me to remind you that Formula One is now so beloved in the United States that we race here 3 times a year. But let's give respect to COTA, or the Circuit of the Americas, to give it its... Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Sunshine completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Norris, Russell, Leclerc, Sainz, Oscar Piastri, Perez, Albon, Stroll, Bottas, Gasly, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Hamilton, Magnussen, Ocon, Hülkenberg, Sargent, and Fernando Alonso rounds off the grid. And alongside me for the first time this season here in the commentary box, Naomi Schiff. Hello.
Here we go, the US Grand Prix, an overcast day. What can we do? Starting P2, we are underway here in Austin. Verstappen gets a good start, goes across the cover. Norris is trying to get through on our outside. I'm taking the inside. Norris turns into us, but ultimately is not able to get the position, but he does get a better exit out of one and takes P2. We are down to P3. It's Verstappen leading, Norris second, we're in third. And that's not the right line to take round there, but we have held on to the top three. Leclerc and Sainz right behind, but I'm looking at giving Norris a tough time to second place. I want that back. Verstappen already checking out front. That Red Bull looking super quick off the start. He's practically gone, isn't he? He's just... Max Verstappen is just not waiting around to see what the rest of us can do. But I'm getting ready to have a go at Lando Norris. We're going to go side by side down the straight. Norris covers. Now we're side by side. I'm going to brake a bit later. Try and find a way around the outside. That's what we're doing. We've got some good momentum here. Still side by side as we head into the right-hander. Norris not giving up easy. But we have managed to get the position. No, we haven't, because Norris is going to try and stick one down the inside there. Still running side by side. Into the right-hander. Still running side by side. This is great wheel-to-wheel action on the first lap of this US Grand Prix. We're still side by side going into the left-hander. But eventually I have to surrender the place. Norris going in tight. I'm having to watch out because Charles Leclerc is sticking one down the inside. And wow, what a first lap that was. Are we going to have a go down the inside of Norris into turn one? Yes, we are. And we've managed to make that move stick. That was a brilliant dive bomb up the inside. And Norris, well, caught napping just a little bit. But look at Max Verstappen. 3 seconds down the road already. He is not waiting around. And Verstappen, well, he looks pretty good for this win. But Lando Norris is looking pretty good to take second down the inside. And he does take second. Lando Norris up into P2. And now we're going to try and put the pressure back on him as we have a look down the inside of the left-hander. Are we going to make that work? No, we've run out of corner. And Lando Norris says, thank you very much. I will just take that from you. What a battle we're having in this early stage of the US Grand Prix. But I feel like we need to do everything we can to hold on to the position, because Norris will get away from us if given an opportunity. The DRS and overtake activated. We're going to drain it to try and get him on this main straight. The amount of momentum we can gain from that is crazy. As we go round the outside of Norris. Nope, not quite making it work. Holding the inside line. Taking a dive to the inside. Norris still alongside us here. Side by side. Norris going down the inside. This is close racing once again. And are we going to go side by side into the fast right-hander once again? Yes, we do, but I think Norris is having to back out. He's still trying to have a look, but this time we get the move done on Lando Norris. But I'm struggling through sector 1 here, and Norris is having a look at trying to get through. I did consider maybe letting him go for the DRS. As here comes Charles Leclerc! Down the inside of the pair of us. I didn't have great momentum. Norris got stuck behind me, and Charles Leclerc, he just took 2 for the price of 1 there. And he's also got DRS for good measure, so now we're struggling to get any kind of momentum on Leclerc. Look how defensive he's gone. Look how tight he's gone. And look how wide we've gone. But somehow we're able to take the place back from Leclerc as he tries to go around the outside. And once again in the complex, you're going wheel to wheel. But Leclerc having the place. But look at us trying to get a little bit of an up and under. That's not worked. Leclerc holding the place. Lap 7 of 28. And the racing we've seen here, the wheel-to-wheel racing, this is epic. But I will say this, it's working a treat for Verstappen. he's pulling out about 2 seconds a lap, and he's just able to keep clearing because this battle is raging on. And we're going to have a look down the inside of Charles Leclerc to try and take that back. Leclerc not proving easy to pass, but we're going to try and get him offline here. But Leclerc going back on the line. But it's down this straight where it'll happen. And Leclerc is going to be extremely vulnerable now because he has no DRS. We have the DRS. We don't have that much overtake to utilise, so Leclerc might be able to hold on to the position here. Leclerc doing everything he can to defend, and you know what? That was good enough. Leclerc defending very well from us there, but we're not done yet. We're not giving up. I'm going to have another go at this double apex corner, and this time have we got the move done? I don't think so, because Leclerc, he'll just have extra momentum. He'll be able to do that. That's exceeding track limits, and that's what got Verstappen a penalty a few years back. So we're not going to do that. But look at us all over the rear of Charles Leclerc. This battle carrying on for P2. I'm surprised Carlos Sainz hasn't tried to get himself more in the mix. But this is how the battle is. Leclerc goes to defend at turn 1. Nothing in doing there. But if we now go back onto the main straight, I'm catching Charles Leclerc. Catching Charles Leclerc. Trying to overtake Charles Leclerc. Have we overtaken him? No, we haven't. We've gone wide. And he still holds on to second place. This is an epic battle. But again, Verstappen is now 14 seconds clear as we try and take the inside of that corner. And this time we pull it off because we block Leclerc's line. He can't do anything there. And we've actually got the place. And we move up into second. And now Leclerc is coming. No, he's not. It's Lando Norris coming back at us now. Down the inside. And Norris taking the place. We're trying to fight it. But there is no fighting it there. Lando Norris moving into second. These tyres are starting to feel a bit old. And where I've been battling, that's going to make them feel older as I try that move again. And this time, it just doesn't work. Norris able to get the better exit and moving into second place. But it's a matter of trying to stay with him for the sake of DRS. But look how far Verstappen's ahead now. Nobody's catching him in this race. It would take a safety car to stop anybody getting after Max Verstappen. Or rather, to stop Max Verstappen, should I say. As Charles Leclerc now has to go down the inside for P3. Norris takes second. Leclerc braking super late there and making that work and moving into third. We're now down to fourth, and well, we've got a bit of work to do now if we want to stay on the podium, but these two are going to be quicker than us. And we've now got Carlos Sainz all over the back for Peter. That's not how you do that. That's corner cutting. And our engine has let us down. I don't believe it. An engine failure lets us down here in Austin. And Carlos Sainz goes smashing into me as I'm trying to find a way to pull off. But it is over for us. Out of the American Grand Prix we go. I was enjoying that. I was really enjoying that fight.
Okay, we think the underbody's incurred some slight damage.
And in the end, there was no Verstappen. Max Verstappen, he takes victory.
Well, that's 2 race wins in a row for them. I think they'll be really happy with that. I mean, 1 race win is great, but to have 2, you know that you've got it. You're a little bit more comfortable in your skin. This is a great sign of maybe what's to come next.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they secured here. It's been an absolutely
Well,
wild
sometimes
weekend of
it
Formula
doesn't
One
go
action.
your way
I
unless
can't
your name
wait
is
to
Max
see what's
Verstappen.
next.
The entire weekend went his way. Pole position, sprint win, fastest lap, and, well, I'm pretty sure that's the definition of a Grand Slam that Verstappen has taken. Norris gets second, Piastri gets third, Sainz gets fourth, Perez fifth, Stroll sixth, then it's Hamilton, Russell, Alonso and Albon rounding out the top 10, so I can only assume Charles Leclerc retired as well. That's gutting. A, because we were on for some good points, and B, I was really enjoying that battle. I was really relishing in the will-to-will action there. That was such great racing, and it's gutting for it to end that way. But this is how it affects the championship. Verstappen now 100 points clear of Fernando Alonso. Charles Leclerc is still holding on to third. Norris is fourth, Piastri fifth, Sainz sixth. But our goal of trying to get into the top 10 just moves away from us slightly, with Lance Stroll scoring some good points here. I'm so gutted. But we're still looking safe for 6th in the Constructors, and the pace is there, so I feel like we've got that covered. Well, thank you for watching this instalment of Career Mode. Don't forget, as always, to like and hit subscribe if you're new here and you want to see more content from me. Until the next time, guys, I've been Joe. Thank you for watching TTFN. Ta-ta for now. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.